Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm explaining why Tesla stock is the number one stock of choice among smart investors. Spoiler alert, that's you. But in all seriousness, a new study has recently been published and widely picked up by the mainstream finance media, aka the fake news, suggesting it's discovered the most popular stocks among Gen Z and millennial investors. There's just one problem. When you dig beneath the surface just a little bit, look at the methodology, we discover that this is a fairly misleading report. So in this video, we'll run through the findings, but more important than that, I'm also trying to illustrate a point here, why you should never take things at face value and always dig beneath the surface lest you be enormously misled. So let's get into the video. If you love crypto, stocks and free stuff, or just want to help out the channel, check out these great offers. BlockFi are launching the world's first Bitcoin rewards credit card. People in the US can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase with no annual fee using the BlockFi Bitcoin rewards credit card. Check out the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can get up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $300 just for opening an account. And if you make an initial deposit of $5 or more, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $2,000. Seriously. Free stocks? Yes, please. And finally, if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for your support, guys. Let's get back to it. Oh, and fair warning, guys, I am actually going to be tying things together at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around till the end, otherwise you're going to be very confused. With that said, let's get into it. So here we are over on dailyfx.com. What are millennials and Gen Z investing in? Millennial stock market. What stocks are millennials and Gen Z investing in? We've all heard about GameStop, the Reddit uprising that dominated stock market news, but that's not the only thing millennials and Gen Z, whose ages range from late teens to 40, are investing money in. In fact, the younger market is much more diverse than you might imagine, and their investments show a fascinating range of choices. Now, I just want to jump in here because this is a very strong inference. Apparently, according to the data in this report, we're able to deduce that millennial and Gen Z stock investors have well-diversified portfolios. Just keep this in mind as we go further through this article and ultimately understand the methodology used. We look at where millennials and Gen Z are putting their money, showing some of the big and some of the more surprising names whose shares are being snapped up by younger investors. Now, I just want to jump in here once again. The inference here, based on the data, is that this data is showing what Gen Z and millennial investors are actually buying in terms of stocks. Fascinating, right? This could be really insightful. US snapshot, most popular stock investments by state. Share popularity differs from state to state, with some preferring to invest in household names such as Apple and Disney, with others investing in brands you might not know as much about. We looked at the trends in search volume for share prices in each state to work out who wants what, where. Let's think about this for a moment. We looked at the trends in search volume for share prices to work out who wants what, where. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade here, but search volume doesn't equate to buying volume. Just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, let's continue. The most popular stocks millennials and Gen Z are investing in by states. NEO, the most searched stock here. Apple coming in at number 2, tied with Plug Power, Moderna. Tesla number 5. Amazon in there as well. Disney in there as well. And a few airlines there as well. Apple is the most popular millennial investment in 7 states. It might come as no surprise to see that tech giant Apple is one of the brands leading the way for millennial and Gen Z investments. At the time of writing, its share price sits at $134, an increase from $69 over the past year. The plague has certainly played a part in the company's success, with people across the globe relying more than ever on technology to keep them connected. Plug Power shows younger audiences are investing in sustainability. Plug Power is another brand popular with millennials and Gen Z. In fact, it is the top investment among the demographic group across 7 states. Plug Power is a developer of hydrogen-based technology that could power emission-free vehicles of the future. Its technology is promising news for the environment. NEO is the most sought-after investment for American millennials. Another electric car brand appealing to US millennial investors and Gen Z is NEO. The Shanghai-based manufacturer shot to fame in the Formula E Racing Championship and is being tipped by many to become a rival for Tesla. Yeah, not even going there. NEO's share price has rocketed over the past 12 months, peaking at $62 in February, while it now sits lower at $36. RIP. Global interest in green power, regular comparisons to Tesla, fair point, and substantial backing by the governments of China show NIO is a stock to watch. NIO is the most popular millennial investment in 8 states. And again, I just want to point out here the terminology suggesting that this is the most popular stock investment among millennial investors in 8 states in the US, but apparently this is based on search data, not buying data. And amazingly, not one NIO car has been sold in the US. The brand's most popular with Millennial and Gen Z investors. So let's run through some of the names a few of you folks might be familiar with on this particular list. Number 1, Apple. Number 2, Tesla. Number 3, General Electric. I find that impossible to believe. I genuinely find that literally impossible to believe. If we're just talking about actual search volume or interest, even in stocks among millennials and Gen Z, on planet Earth, in the United States, pick your area, I cannot believe that General Electric is the 3rd most popular stock, nor can I believe that Ford is the 4th most popular. I just can't believe it, I'm sorry. All right, time for a lesson, guys. This is why it pays to be a skeptic and to think for yourself. As you guys saw there, reading through that article there, my initial reaction, there is absolutely no way General Electric is the 3rd most popular, searched for, not invested in, but hey, whatever, let's just go with either of these. There's no way the G is even close to a top 50 stock for millennial or Gen Z investors, according to my intuition, which of course isn't very scientific, but this is just part of being skeptical, okay? I understand investing. I generally understand what people around my own age demographic are investing in, and more importantly, what they're searching for. Plus, I also have functional grey matter. Now, let's do a little exercise. I know exactly what's going on here. A little bit embarrassing. Look, the author probably made a mistake, and I understand based on the data there, they didn't really understand what was going on or the context. So this has been overlooked. But this is why it's so important to be skeptical, do your own homework, think of yourself, and fact check things, verify and think. As I said in the intro to this video, this particular article has been picked up by a bunch of mainstream finance media outlets who've just regurgitated the findings without actually verifying anything themselves either. And now we're having disinformation propagated. Let me explain why. Okay, guys, we're going to do a fun little exercise. Oh, how'd that get there? Sorry, my bad. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Okay, so let's just imagine that you're a typical Robinhood investor and you're searching for stonks, okay? What stonks should I buy right now? Stonks to the moon, everything to the moon. Okay, I've heard about this, I've heard about that. Wait a minute, I just heard GameStop is going to the moon. Okay, cool, let me search for that. GME stock. Cool, GameStop stock, fantastic. All right, I'm gonna buy some GameStop stock because everyone on Reddit said it's going to the moon. Great, I bought some GameStop stock. Now I'm gonna keep checking the price of GameStop stock every millisecond to see if I've lost my entire life savings or it's gone to the moon and I'm a quadrillionaire. Let me check again, let me search again. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I hope I've made so much money. GameStop to the moon, I'm so excited. Oh my God, let me search again for GameStop stock. Oh my God. Oh, I made a typo. I'm so silly. My hands were shaking. I'm so excited. Oh my God, has it gone to the moon yet? So that's awkward. Turns out General Electric stock, not the 3rd most popular stock among millennials, not even the 3rd most popular searched for stock among millennials, just an extremely common typo for GameSpot stock, which was going to the moon, fueled by all of the Reddit speculation. This is why it really pays to think, to be skeptical, and never to draw conclusions from half information. US investors back technology and cars. Many of America's most popular investments among the youngest investors come in the form of technology brands, with the likes of Apple, Plug Power, GoPro, and Fitbit making the top 50. Automotive companies also draw interest with the likes of Ford, Tesla, and Marathon Oil. Who the fuck are Marathon Oil? Attracting millennial and Gen Z attention. Major brands such as Starbucks, Uber, and Netflix also provide a source of stock excitement, supporting an assertion by The Economist, which pointed out that global brands account for more than 30% of the stock market value of companies in the S&P 500 index. Young investors believe in travel. Stocks and travel-related industry stocks also lure younger investors. American Airlines is the 5th most popular stock, with the likes of Delta and JetBlue Airways also among the top 30. Cruise company Royal Caribbean also appears among the most popular stocks for millennials and Gen Z. And now we're looking at the most popular stocks among millennials and Gen Z in the UK, according to DailyFX. Number 1, NIO, 2, Airbnb, number 3, Palantir, 4, Zoom, number 25, Tesla. Millennials and Gen Z in the UK have a few things in common with their American counterparts. Both groups invest heavily in NIO. Again, big assertion here claiming that both groups invest heavily in NIO. But other brands make the top 5, with travel company Airbnb and video call brand Zoom grabbing headlines. Alright, let's cut to the chase, guys, and read the actual methodology behind this report, which I reiterate has been picked up throughout the mainstream finance media. Yahoo literally did a piece on this a few days ago, a 4 or 5 minute segment, making a lot of assertions and regurgitating the same claims about these popular stocks among Gen Z and millennials. But let's actually look at the methodology, how they drew these conclusions. To identify the top millennial and Gen Z investments, DailyFX used data from Robinhood, a stock trading platform, in order to determine the brands millennials are investing in the most. Now again, I just want to reiterate, they're claiming that this data has allowed them to determine the brands millennials are investing in the most. Big claim. The users of the app are predominantly 18 to 35 years old, the demographic of a majority of millennials and Gen Z users. By utilizing search volume from the last 12 months sourced on the 1st of April 2021, so basically 1st of April 2020 to 1st of April 2021, DailyFX determined the most popular stock for millennial investors in each state of the United States based on the percentage increase overall. So hang on a minute here. What we're talking about is search volume just on the Robinhood stock app over a 12-month period. So we're looking at the percentage increase of search volume, which could be very misleading. Let me just give you guys an example. If one person searched for a stock, let's say General Electric, in the year prior to this period of search volume data, and then 2 people searched for it the following year, we'd see a doubling of interest, doubling of search volume, which could have put this at the absolute top of the list. For the search volume data for the millennial investments of the UK, data was sourced April 6, 2021. GameStop stock was not included, as that would dominate the end results, skewing them for the search volume increases from Reddit-fueled activity. Oops, they did their best to remove the GameStop influence from this list. However, the fact that they included a popular typo for GameStop stock and it took out the number 3 position just goes to show they didn't do a great job here. I just want to take a moment to examine this methodology even further to explain why it's completely nonsensical. We heard there that this was based on the percentage increase in search volume for particular stocks based over a 12-month period. Let me show you why this is so misleading and why you can't draw any useful conclusions from this data. So this is the stock price chart for NEO stock. Remember, what they were looking at was a percentage increase in search volume from the prior 12 months, and this period of search volume data increase began in April 2020. Let's have a look at what happened to NEO stock around April 2020 and the following 12 months. NEO stock up almost 1,400%. Now, let me ask you guys a question. If a stock goes up 1,400% in a 12-month period, is it possible some curious potential investors might search trying to understand what's going on? They've heard this stock's gone to the moon. Is it possible that the fact that the stock actually went to the moon would generate additional search interest, whether or not people are actually buying the stock? Now, this is just one example. Another of the surprisingly popular stocks in this article was Plug Power. I think you guys can see where we're going with this. What happened to the Plug Power stock price from around April 2020 to April 2021? In less than the 12-month period, we saw the stock price go to the moon, up 1,650%, before coming back down to earth, still up over 600%. If a stock goes up 1,600% in less than a year, then also from its peak collapses 60+%, do you think it's possible that there may be people searching for that stock based on the crazy movements of the stock price who may actually not intend on buying the stock? Just asking the question. The moral of the story here today, guys, is quite simple. Don't believe everything you read. In fact, don't believe anything you read. Verify everything and draw your own conclusions after having done your own thinking based on all the available evidence. I normally wouldn't cover an article like this, but the fact that it's been picked up in the mainstream finance media, particularly the legacy media and the fake news, meant that I really wanted to address it because a lot of people are seeing this information now and actually believing it. It's important not to misconstrue how useful certain information and data can be as well. The fact that this article claimed that it was able to infer what people were actually buying based on search volume is nonsensical. For example, a year ago, I was doing a lot of searching for airline stock prices, not because I was buying them, because I was curious to see what was happening during the midst of all flights being grounded. I also spent a lot of time looking at stock prices for other companies that I'm absolutely not interested in, not because I ever intend on buying them, because I'm curious what's happening to that particular stock price. Just because a lot of people are looking for a certain stock does not mean that they're buying that stock. Now, certainly there might be some correlation in some cases, but you can't draw such firm conclusions, and you certainly can't write an article claiming that you know what Gen Z and millennial stock investors are actually buying based on search volume from a couple of regions on a single stock trading app. And now, as promised, to tie everything together, How have I come to the tongue-in-cheek conclusion that Tesla stock is the number one stock among smart investors? Quite simple. I pulled it out of my ass. However, in all seriousness, I actually believe that if you were able to gather the necessary data to draw this conclusion, which we don't have available unfortunately, so all I can do is imagine and hypothesize, I can't prove anything. But I do genuinely believe, in my heart of hearts, my intuition does say that if you could get the data, Tesla stock would far and away be the most popular stock among both millennials and Gen Z investors, at least within the United States and most of the English-speaking world. Here we are on Google Trends, looking at global search data over the last 12 months for Tesla stock, NIO stock, GameStop stock, and Apple stock. You'll note Tesla in blue, and we can see an enormous spike of GameStop stock there during the Reddit hoo-ha. But you'll note, on average, over the last 12 months, the average search volume for Tesla stock, 15, NIO, 9, GameStop, 5, and Apple stock, an 8. So even just based on some search data, which again, we can't infer anything about, but this does paint an interesting picture. There's a lot of people at least searching for Tesla stock, even relative to some of the other stocks that we know about, like NIO stock and Apple stock. But again, this proves nothing. It's interesting, but can't prove a thing. And one final piece of anecdotal evidence, which once again proves literally nothing, but is definitely worth considering, is the Tesla social media ecosystem. There are a number of folks on Twitter in particular, and also on YouTube, whose full-time job and full-time source of income is discussing and analyzing Tesla the company and Tesla stock. I'm obviously preaching to the choir here, so I'm not telling you guys anything new. Given the fact that most people are regular viewers of this very Tesla-centric YouTube channel, you'll understand where I'm coming from. But it is worth taking the time to consider this. The fact that I have a merch store pretty much dedicated to meme-related shirts and mugs, hoodies, etc., all to do with Tesla stock to the moon, Tesla stock to Mars, don't bet against Elon, etc. By the way, link in the description if you want to get your own merch. And the fact that these things actually sell, some of my best-selling products in the merch store. In fact, let me bring up some stats for you guys. The most popular piece of merch in the entire merch store, Tesla to the moon, the Tesla stock ticker, almost 1,000 units sold. Don't bet against Elon, close to 700, and Tesla to Mars, close to 500 units sold. I don't think there'd be another company out there with these types of stock-related meme shirts that anyone would be even buying, let alone in these kind of numbers. And I'm just one tiny segment of the Tesla ecosystem. Another way to look at this in context is this very YouTube channel. In the last 12 months, the last 365 days, the total watch time of people like you watching content related to Tesla is 3.9 million hours. And by the way, guys, just for the record, this isn't the actual figure. I don't want to spoil my next income update. But again, the point that I'm making here, this entire Tesla stock ecosystem is absolutely thriving. And again, we can't draw any solid conclusions here, but YouTube kindly actually breaks down demographics. So what can we learn from this? Well, there's a lot of people in the United States watching this channel, plenty from Canada, the UK, Australia, and Germany as well. It's an absolute sausage fest, no question. Over 95% of the viewers male, 4.9% female viewership in the last 12 months. Oh, and by the way, I guess we better cancel YouTube because for some reason they've only got 2 genders here. Oh, and by the way, a special shout out to the women watching this channel. Clearly, you are very unique and special. I appreciate your support. And when it comes down to the age demographics as well, we can see the biggest segment of viewers here, basically 1/3 of the viewers of this channel in the 25 to 34-year-old range, aka millennials. What a surprise. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below. Do you personally think it's likely that Tesla stock is actually the most popular stock among millennial stock investors? And also let me know in the comments below if you happen to be a millennial or a Gen Z investor who also owns Tesla stock. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget the BlockFi Bitcoin Rewards credit card, where you can earn 1.5% Bitcoin back on every purchase. There's a link in the description. You can also earn up to $250 in crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, also linked below. And finally, don't forget your free stocks with WeBull and Stake, also linked in the description. These great offers also help out the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.